Tonight, with the nationwide need for nurses, a new program here in San Antonio aims to spark an interest in healthcare for young students. A man who escaped his initial arrest and assaulted a deputy in the process is tracked down and taken into custody. Plus, the latest in the search for a teenage murder suspect in connection with the stabbing death of a college student in New York.
Thanks for joining us for KSAT News at 9, streaming live right here in the KSAT 12 newsroom. I'm Courtney Friedman. The House today approving a $1.4 trillion spending package, which would keep the government afloat through the fiscal year 2020. So what happens next? The Senate will need to pass it, and President Donald Trump needs to sign it by Friday to avoid a government shutdown. The president is expected to sign it. The legislation includes a military pay raise, funding for election security, gun research at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and raises the federal tobacco purchasing age to 21. The deal also maintains the current funding level of $1.37 billion for a border wall and repeals 3 health care taxes used to fund the Affordable Care Act. A new program is opening the door in San Antonio for students interested in the healthcare field with the need for nurses. The program could help fill a void in the field while fueling a passion of becoming a registered nurse. Tiffany Huertas explains how the San Antonio Independent School District is teaming up to make the dream a reality.
So imagine preparing these young people to be our future caretakers and living wage jobs, improving the economy, creating other jobs, changing the trajectory of their family.
There is change taking place at San Antonio ISD. Superintendent Pedro Martinez says the district is the 3rd highest poverty district in the state.
Regardless of where you come from, regardless of how you grew up, every one of our community members deserves the best.
It's why San Antonio ISD is preparing a new program called Healthcare Pathways in Technology Early College High School, or H-Tech. Students can earn their high school diplomas as well as an Associate of Science degree and certifications in the healthcare industry in 4 to 6 years. It's an early college high school program modeled after one in Sam Houston High School.
Students graduate with associates in cyber technology or cybersecurity. And so this is actually another pathway that's similar, it's just related to nursing.
Students will split their time between Fox Tech and San Antonio College in the first 4 years of the program. The last 1 to 2 years of the program, students will only dedicate their time at the college campus. In 2017, state lawmakers approved legislation allowing schools to partner with Texas institutions of higher education and local businesses.
This is the first time that we've gone out and done an H-Tech, which specifically brings in a business partner, specifically Methodist, Metropolitan, and University Health System. And this is the first where we have embedded in a nursing program.
Robert Vela, president of San Antonio College, says it's important to get students who have a passion for healthcare careers because of the jobs that need to be filled.
Not just in San Antonio, but all over the country, we have nursing shortages simply because there are enough nurses out there to adequately serve our hospitals, our community centers, our clinics.
After finishing the H-Tech program, students would be eligible to take the National Council licensure examination for registered nurses. If they pass, the graduate would be a registered nurse. Applications are being accepted for up to 50 incoming 9th graders. The program is open to all students across Bexar County and surrounding areas. There will be a lottery process to pick who will fill those 50 spots. We will have a link on our website, ksat.com/news@9. Courtney.
Thank you, Tiffany. New details of the moments leading up to a deadly plane crash near the San Antonio airport. Police in New York continue their search for a suspect in the brutal stabbing death of a college student. And Boeing making a major decision about the future of its 737 MAX planes.
Here's tonight's 9 at 9. A man who escaped an arrest and assaulted a deputy along the way has been taken into custody. The sheriff's office says 39-year-old Joseph Garcia was reporting for probation when they discovered he had a felony warrant active for his arrest. As soon as deputies arrived, Garcia ended up punching one deputy twice before running off.
Very long history, documented member of the Mexican Mafia. He's definitely a dangerous person. Not somebody that we want to take any chances with, but as I mentioned, the officers did a great job working together to get him back in custody safely.
Garcia was chased all the way from the jail to Buena Vista and Colorado streets, where a BCSO K-9 helped find him hiding inside a tunnel under the bridge. The NTSB releasing its report on a deadly plane crash that happened near San Antonio Airport earlier this month. It states on December 1st, the plane experienced engine failure. The pilot declared an emergency and was cleared to land at the airport, but the plane spiraled down, crash landing just northwest of the airport. All 3 people on board died. An Austin mom and her baby are still missing. 33-year-old Heidi Broussard and her 3-week-old daughter Margot disappeared last Thursday. The father of Broussard's children said she was last seen dropping their son off at school.
Our assumption is that they're alive, and the sooner that we can find them, the better.
Police in New York are searching for a 14-year-old boy they believe is connected to the fatal stabbing of Barnard College freshman Tessa Majors. Another teen has been arrested in the case but is not believed to be the one who stabbed Majors. Police say a group of teens approached her last Wednesday evening as she was walking through a park and they tried to take her phone. After a struggle, she was stabbed multiple times. A woman killed when she was struck by a falling piece of debris in Times Square. Police say it hit the woman while she was on the sidewalk. The debris reportedly broke off a building on the corner of 49th Street and 7th Avenue. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 people are now in police custody after a chase through a Florida neighborhood. The high-speed chase started when a Dodge Charger fled police. The suspects jumped from the car and ran in the opposite directions when the chase ended. The gun was also thrown from the car during the getaway. Boeing says it will suspend production of its 737 MAX plane starting in January. The FAA grounded the jet after 2 deadly crashes earlier this year and recently released a report saying there was potential for more than 15 fatal crashes over the life of the fleet.
For Boeing, this is going to be a tough juggling act. This is a core of their operation, the 737 MAX, and you have lots of workers who are trained to do one thing and have them do another thing now. As you try to figure out when you're going to start, it's going to take some fancy footwork.
Experts say the canceled production could mean fewer passenger seats to go around and may drive up airfares. The U.S. Navy is tracking a Russian spy ship spotted off the North Carolina coast. A U.S. military official said it was spotted 100 miles southeast of Wilmington in international waters. The vessel was seen leaving the port of Spain days ago. U.S. defense officials say the same ship was spotted in February, sailing 30 miles off the coast of Connecticut. A bear confronted a California man and his dog recently. The bear pawed at the man's windshield trying to get to the dog and its owner, and later climbed on the top of his trunk.
I see the bear just in the middle of the road, and I didn't think anything of it. I just stopped just to take a video of it, and yeah, that's when it all started.
To read more about these 9 stories, head to ksat.com/news at 9.
Well, Adam, we are in the middle of a huge temperature drop right now.
Yeah, the cold front moved through about 36 hours ago. Now we're really feeling the cold air as it settles into town. And tonight is going to be the coldest night that we've had so far this season. So
right.
That's pretty telling. Now
it's starting to feel like it.
It is. Well, we've already hit freezing a couple of times this year, but I think we'll see temperatures well below freezing. So 55 was our high today, and that's 9 degrees below average for the day today. And notice earlier this morning, 36, we were just a little above freezing, but it's going to be a different story tomorrow. So right now we're already down to 40 degrees outside, and we have very dry air in place. I mean, dew points are in the teens. That dry air, it's what makes your skin dry and your lips chapped. If you notice that, you can thank the cold front, or at least blame the cold front that we had. Look at these readings. 38 already, Port SA. Castroville, 36. Same story, Helotes and Bernie Stage, both at 36. Randolph at 37. So we're seeing these temperatures fall off quickly. And here's our forecast for tomorrow morning. I think in the hill country we'll be right near 20 degrees around sunrise. That's when we typically hit our low temperature. Here in San Antonio, around 27. We're saying 28 downtown, Lackland about 27, 25 in Leon Springs, Timberwood Park as cold as 24, and those of you in Bernie down to 23. And even within downtown, I think we'll have at or below freezing temperatures for about 6 to 8 hours. So take the necessary precautions, especially with your plants and pets and whatnot tonight. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, bright sunshine, but we're not going to do all that much better than today. I mean, we'll generally be in the mid and upper 50s for high temperatures. So just looking at lows, the next couple of days will be our coldest in the upper 20s. Then we rebound by Friday through the weekend. Still a bit of a chill in the air, but we're not talking freezing conditions. So just 2 freezing nights and we warm up. The real activity in our weather patterns has been along the East Coast. That's even starting to exit there. We're looking at our next disturbance, which is off the California coastline right now. It's a swirl and a dip in the upper level flow. It's starting to throw some moisture toward California. This is going to move our way as we get into Friday. And last night we were talking, maybe a 20 to 30% chance of rain. We've increased that now to about a 40% chance of rain. So odds are looking a little bit better in terms of rainfall on Friday. All right, so here's your day tomorrow. 27 in the morning, 52 at noon, only 56 the high temperature in San Antonio, bright sunshine, a calm wind all day. Thursday, 29 in the morning, near 60 later in the day with some increasing clouds. Then on Friday, we'll be stuck in the 50s in the afternoon. It's going to be one of those gray and just somewhat damp days. We'll have some spotty light rain here and there, especially for the first part of the day. And it's going to be cool, only in the 50s for high temperatures in the afternoon. And I don't think our rain's going to amount to all that much, but it's just going to give us that overall damp feeling. Into the weekend, though, there it is, Courtney. The pattern continues. Good, comfortable, pleasant conditions for the weekend, sunny and, well, in the 60s.
We deserve that. Beautiful weekends.
Of course.
All right. Thanks so much, Adam. A memorial service honoring the life and legacy of Charlene McCombs was held this afternoon. The civic leader and former Spurs owner died in her home on Thursday. Today's service was held at Alamo Heights United Methodist Church at 1 o'clock. As a local philanthropist, she gave to several causes she believed in, including performing arts and women's athletics. Charlene McCombs was married to Red McCombs for 69 years. She is survived by him, their 3 daughters, 8 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. Charlene was 91. We'll be back in 1 minute. Stay with us.
This SA Salute holiday greeting is brought to you by Broadway Bank.
Hello, I am Major Arturo Rodriguez with 1st Armored Division. I am deployed here in Afghanistan. I wanted to wish happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to all my family and friends in the San Antonio area, specifically Pierce on Cotulla, Texas. Mom and Dad, Arturo and Naldo Rodriguez, I miss you guys. Love you guys very much. I wish I could be home for the holidays. I'll see you guys soon.
On Capitol Hill, the stage is set for a possibly historic day tomorrow. The House of Representatives is on track to vote on articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. The president now formally lashing out, writing a scathing 6-page letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Quote, "Dear Madam Speaker," he starts, "I write to express my strongest and most powerful protest against the partisan impeachment crusade." The president accuses Pelosi and the Democrats of declaring open war on American democracy and bringing pain and suffering to the republic for selfish, personal, political, and partisan gain. He goes on to insist, quote, "More due process was afforded to those accused in the Salem witch trials," end quote. Here's what Pelosi had to say in response.
I haven't really fully read it. We've been working. I've seen the essence of it, though, and it's really sick.
Impeachment is still a heavily divisive issue in the United States with the American public. The latest ABC News Washington Post poll shows 49% in favor and 46% opposed. But the Democrats have the majority in the House and are poised to likely impeach the president for the third time in American history. Turning to some of today's top stories, for the first time in more than 2 decades, Congress has approved funding for gun violence research. There will be $25 million allocated for it. Half the money will go to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the other half will go to the National Institutes of Health. The funding comes as the nation continues to grapple with the effects of frequent mass shootings. In the Senate, a defense bill passed, which includes the creation of President Trump's highly prioritized military branch focused on space exploration. The $738 billion package passed overwhelmingly and now goes to President Trump's desk for a signature. Democrats added their support after a provision giving all federal workers 12 weeks of parental leave was added. Military personnel will also get a 3% pay raise. The Space Force will fall under the Air Force branch of the military and rearrange resources already focusing on space rather than establishing a completely new division. And the U.S. house market is coming back to life in time to boost the 2020 economy. Low mortgage rates, a strong labor force, and rising wages factor into that. Mortgages fell to 3-year lows in the third quarter, with some people's incomes growing past the prices of their homes. The housing market index, which indicates home builder confidence, has jumped to its highest level in 20 years, suggesting better times are ahead for the housing market. Despite this, there also aren't enough affordable homes for all the buyers who want them. Economists say that should even out with time. The holidays are here, and that means more people are hitting the streets to visit family, whether it be by air, bus, or car. If you want to rent a car before your holiday excursion, there are some fees you might want to factor in to avoid any surprises later. Digital journalist Ivan Herrera with what to look out for in your weekly consumer series, Money, It's Personal.
Getting ready to rent a car for a weekend getaway or a trip to visit grandma across the country? Make sure to factor in added fees to the rental base price before hitting the service counter. The Federal Trade Commission has some tips on which fees to look out for. First, rental companies will more than likely add taxes to your bill. These can be city, county, and/or state taxes, and they may vary by location. Next, watch out for early or late return fees. We all know what happens if you turn in your rental car late, and you don't want to be stuck paying more for something you can avoid. But did you also know some companies may charge a fee for turning in your rental too early? Check with the company to see if this applies to you. Other fees to look out for are airport rental surcharges, fuel charges for not refilling the tank, fees for taking the rental out of state, or fees for equipment rentals for things such as navigation systems or car seats. Some companies may charge for adding drivers other than yourself to the contract, or fees for dropping off the rental at a location other than where you picked it up. Lastly, don't forget about tolls. Ask your rental company about its policy on how toll fares are charged to your account. For The 9, Ivan Herrera.
We have a list of those tips from the Federal Trade Commission on our website right now. Just head to ksat.com/news at 9. And if you have any money questions you'd like to submit, you can do so at the bottom of that article. Protect your credit card information at the gas pump. Visa is warning cybercrime teams have found a weak spot in gas station networks. The company's fraud disruption teams are investigating several unique attacks targeting merchant point-of-sale systems that were likely carried out by sophisticated cybercrime groups. Visa says the groups installed POS malware after gaining access to the gas station's network. Visa says the POS attacks are more sophisticated than credit card skimmers. The company is warning consumers to keep an eye on their charges that are posted to their accounts. It's time to check in with what's trending on KSAT.com, and we have RJ Marquez here.
All right, Courtney, got a lot of fun stories on our website today, and of course it is the holiday season, so a lot of celebrating going on during this time. And we have a pretty cool article here about San Antonio's 5 top cocktail bars that won't break the bank. So pretty cool list here. Now this is all this was basically created with data from Yelp. So are you a big Yelp user?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm all about the reviews. I don't write them, but I'm all about looking at them.
Yeah. So some pretty popular spots here. I have not been to a few of these, so I'm pretty interested.
Okay.
Sancho's, have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
The Baseline?
I have.
Okay,
Very
had not
good.
been there. I had been to
Okay.
Faust, though.
That's on my list.
Yeah, there
Now it's
we
on
go.
this list too.
And I'll leave the last two kind
Okay.
of for you guys to check them out. We have the full article on our website,
All right.
KSAT.com. All right, switching gears here a little bit. This is pretty fun. So the zoo has been doing these like theme days throughout
Okay.
the year. And this year is, or this week is, I know you're gonna get excited about this one. Dress like a wizard on Harry Otter Day.
Yeah, this day was made for me, essentially.
Exactly, yeah.
Which day was this again?
This is gonna be Saturday.
Good to know. I might go before work. I'm serious.
They have a full schedule of fun otter activities in Otter Chat at 10:30 in the morning. That's pretty interesting.
I'll be there at the Otter Chat in my Gryffindor attire.
There you go.
Which
they're
I
going to have a
have.
DJ, costume contest too. So pretty cool stuff going on
Okay.
here at the San Antonio Zoo. And this article here, as Andrew laughs off camera,
Yeah, I mean, we got a crowd.
prompted me to look up some fun otter facts.
Oh gosh.
So otters, they like to stick together, and apparently they sleep in, they wrap themselves in seaweed and sleep together. And it's called a raft. Yeah,
Little
okay.
seaweed bed.
Next weird otter fact. They actually hold their hands while they're taking a nap so they don't drift away.
they don't.
Yes, so
Is this
these
proven?
little guys are awesome.
That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it is, as we see here in the headline, utterly adorable. So yeah, check it out at the zoo
good.
this week. Some pretty cool stuff. Again, always some creative stuff there going on with
Right.
the zoo. All right, last one here.
And another one.
Yeah.
You're full of the good ones today.
Yeah, these are, like I said, a lot of fun stories on our
Okay.
website. Ranking the 10 best shows of 2019. We always see these year-end lists. Do you have a show that, I know you're a big Game of Thrones.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Never mind.
I'm
You're
the
not a big-
opposite.
oh.
I did not have the time to put into it, so I'm waiting.
Okay.
Because I get really into shows.
Yeah.
My favorite, by far, is Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
That's a great show.
Yes.
That is a great show.
It's my hands down favorite.
Yeah, it is not in this top 10. What is going on there?
That makes no sense. Everyone loves that show.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
a really great show. I would have even put that show here. An interesting list here, The Mandalorian, of course. That
Okay,
one, I
yes.
really am enjoying that one. Dead to Me on Netflix. I don't know
Nope.
if you've seen that.
I've heard
Kristen
of it.
Applegate.
Haven't done it.
Pretty good one there.
Mhm.
Watchmen has gotten a lot of buzz
Mm-hmm.
recently, so that's a pretty good show. The top one, Russian Doll on Netflix.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've never heard.
yeah.
I haven't heard anyone
Interesting.
talk about
Yeah,
it. At least in
same
our
here.
little circle here.
Yeah, same here. So check these shows
Okay.
out. Check this list out, and it's pretty interesting stuff here. There's always a ton of great TV that
Right.
comes out every year.
Right.
So
It's hard to keep track.
yeah.
All right. Well,
definitely.
thank you so much. All
Thanks,
right. Go
Courtney.
check out KSAT.com. We'll be right back.
This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar. Vox Media says it's going to cut hundreds of freelance positions in California ahead of changes in California's gig economy laws. Vox says the cuts will mostly hit its pool of sports writers for SB Nation, who under the new law will not be allowed to submit more than 35 articles a year. And in other news, Tesla is putting up tents over its solar panel test house in Fremont, California. Tesla is installing what it calls canopy covers over its solar test structures, which should allow the company to both work without rain delays and avoid prying eyes. The solar panel project is essentially what remains of Elon Musk's acquisition of Solar City. And PG&E is removing the governor of California from its settlement plan with wildfire victims after he said the utilities company didn't comply with state law. The bankrupt utility said it doesn't need Governor Gavin Newsom to sign off on the settlement after all, and the move could buy PG&E some time for restructuring its plan. And that's your Cheddar Business and Tech Update. I'm Kristen Scholler from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Thank you so much for joining us for the news at 9. Don't forget the Night Beat starts at 10.